Unfortunately, after last week's Raw, the closest thing to CM Punk was Drew McIntyre taking shots at CM Punk. No, seriously, now that he was advertised, press F in the comments for everybody who bought tickets to see CM Punk. Drew McIntyre said, "It feels like everybody lost their minds recently. Liars, hypocrites, cowards, just plain idiots. Apparently you can get fired, released, leave, do what you want for a bunch of time, come back to the company and you're instantly forgiven these days." Yeah, Drew McIntyre has a very big problem with that. No, but honestly, this Monday Night Raw was actually pretty good. If we ignore the fact that we got CM Punk and Randy Orton last week, outside of that, this show was actually better. I mean, most importantly, we got the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Jay Uso in the main event. Isn't that a bit refreshing? A singles match in the main event of Monday Night Raw. I really hope the days of 6-man tag team matches or anything involving the Judgment Day in the main event, I hope these days are over. This just gave me that OG WWE vibe. So welcome back to the channel. As always, don't forget to smash, like absolutely annihilate that like button. Please do that. It helps the channel and it grows your PP. Why not? So the show kicks off with a Scottish warrior, Drew McIntyre. And he talked about how the landscape in the WWE changed because people chanted CM Punk. So he said apparently you can leave, get fired, released, do whatever you want, come back, and everybody acts like nothing happened. People started chanting CM Punk again, and Drew McIntyre said, "I could be talking about anybody." Who else? Well, maybe Cody. And he has an explanation on why he attacked Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth Rollins figuratively slapped him in the face by announcing that Jay Uso is getting that opportunity even though Drew McIntyre deserved that opportunity. So he slapped me, kinda, so I headbutted him in the head, right? Logic. It's all about that logic. Then he talked about Sami Zayn, and we see Sami, who again talked about how their stories are very similar and Drew McIntyre is whining like a little bitch. I like Drew McIntyre's promo. He basically said, "You deserved what happened to you. You were a part of the bloodline. You had it coming." Well, turns out we're nothing alike. He says unlike McIntyre, he's not delusional and he doesn't blame everyone around him. And when he won that Undisputed Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania, he made his family proud. Then he questions whether the same can be said for McIntyre. McIntyre tells Sami that one of them won't be walking out of the arena tonight and calls for a referee, and that's when we got Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. So again, absolutely love the promo. Drew McIntyre is a tremendous heel. He kind of reminds me of Chris Jericho in 2008 when he turned heel, and he had his reasons. He was actually right. So these are the best heels in pro wrestling. People who actually have a point, and even though you're supposed to hate them, you kinda understand them. And I think they did a really good job with the match. Obviously, Sami Zayn was the underdog in this one. Drew McIntyre was mostly on top. And that's what I'm talking about. The matches were really, really good. So when you think about it, I believe this show was actually better than last week, you know, except we got Randy and CM Punk. So obviously, it's not a fair comparison. Again, Drew McIntyre showing his true colors. Sami Zayn's leg got injured. Drew McIntyre takes advantage of that and of course wins the match. In Drew McIntyre's defense, he told us he's not gonna be a good guy, he's going to do what's right, and that's taking W's. He's minding his own business. Later on the show, he attacked Sami Zayn again, and I guess injured his leg even more, so maybe Sami Zayn is going to miss a couple of weeks. Which I think is pretty cool. You know, eventually when he makes that return, he's going to get a big pop. Not sure if that's gonna happen, but I believe it's a good idea. We got a very good Jay Uso video package talking about how he's not doing it for the bloodline anymore, he's doing it for himself. And they really, throughout the show, tried to tell us that this is, you know, the first time opportunity for Jay Uso. And I'm not sure why they're trying to sell that. I believe they said this is the biggest Jay Uso match of his career. Is it really? Didn't he face Roman in some very major pay-per-views in a stadium? I mean, can you really say this is the biggest Jay Uso match? I mean, I get it, you're trying to build this match, it's all fine. But come on now. Becky Lynch wants a piece of Nia Jax. Apparently she remembered, oh, you smacked me in the face back in the day, like 19 years ago. Oh boy, speaking of Nia Jax, that was a long ass match. That was way too much Nia for me. That was way too much Nia for me, boy. That was way too much Nia for me. Well, Nia Jax beats Shina Baszler. Becky Lynch came out and Nia Jax is scared shitless. Becky, Nia... Speechless. Yeah, it's whatever. I don't care. What about that DIY versus Imperium match? 2 out of 3 falls. Didn't care about it that much, but this was really good. We got "This is awesome" chants. The biggest problem I have with this is that I'm not really liking DIY's presentation that much. I think it needs something a bit more badass. I think they're kind of using Johnny's gimmick a bit more than Tommaso Ciampa's gimmick. I don't know how to explain that. When it comes to Imperium, they lose way too much. But the match was really good, and hopefully after their victory, DIY are going to focus on the tag team championships, because I would not mind that rivalry. But this was a very good match, and in my honest opinion, the best thing DIY did ever since they reformed this tag team. Oh, and Vinci had a great performance. I think it's needed because people are kinda, looking at Ludwig Kaiser as the next, big thing out of the group, and Vinci is just kinda there, but I believe in this match, he was the highlight, and he blames Ludwig for losing. You're going to answer to Ganta. Ganta ain't gonna be happy. R-Truth is still hanging out in the Judgment Day's locker room, and I don't know why, but the Judgment Day never really attacked R-Truth. I honestly don't know why. I get it from the viewer, perspective. It's supposed to be a comedy segment, but I mean, why not? Seriously, why not? That is a plasma. We got Tegan Nox and Natalya versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. This is a very bizarre gimmick. I'm not even sure how to explain it. Is that the first time they're doing it? I'm not sure. Whatever the case may be, we got the match. The crowd was kinda silent, which is unfortunate. They were not into it that much. I think they did a decent job, but we did get some, I don't want to say botches, but something along those lines. Well, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter won the match, and they won those WWE Tag Team Championships, Women's Tag Team Championships. Good. Hopefully the Women's Tag Team Championship stuff is going to get a bit more interesting, because it's really the least interesting thing about WWE lately. Not sure if lately, it was never really that good. It just never works out. Cody is here to talk. He says when he saw the Great Muta as a child, he was terrified of the mist. He was right about his childhood fears. He should have paid attention to the clues that Shinsuke Nakamura gave him. I agree, you would have known that CM Punk is coming out. I've made multiple videos, by the way. Cody, subscribe to the channel. Grow your Coco Jump. I'm not sure about your bedroom issues. None of my business, boy. None of my business. But, like you said, if you watched the goddamn channel, you would have known that the clues were intended for CM Punk, not at you at first, not in kayfabe at least, and you would have a bigger dick. He calls out Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shinsuke actually cut a really good pre-recorded promo. This time it was, less subtle, and he basically explained us that their stories are very similar. They were climbing that ladder, both won the Royal Rumble, and both lost at WrestleMania in their WWE Championship matches. And now Shinsuke is going to take Cody's story and finish it for him. Not gonna lie, pretty good stuff. Cody tells Nakamura that he doesn't respect him despite their similar path, but he does not run from a fight. He's going to prove him they're not the same. It's a decent little side story for Cody, and I'm sure the match is going to be good because it's going to give us a different vibe. I'm kinda excited, because dude, we have no pay-per-views in December. Something needs to happen, and this is exactly what I mean by something needs to happen. I'm bringing in CM Punk next week, and I'm also going to try to sign him to Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins says, all good, but if he gets into my business, I'm not responsible for what's gonna happen. So yes, CM Punk is going to be on SmackDown and on Raw next week, which is great, and finally, some logic. They tried to sign Randy Orton, and I was like, okay, why not CM Punk? Why don't you want Punk on your roster? Is he gonna be free agent because the plot asks for it? Apparently no. They're gonna try to sign CM Punk, and I believe he's going to be on Monday Night Raw, unless the GMs will, have very good offers and CM Punk has more leverage or whatever. but at least it makes sense. We got the Creed brothers versus Dum Dum and JD McDonald's Big Mac Double Cheeseburger Para-pa-pa-pa, which was a very good match. And again, the Creed brothers proved they are a very interesting tag team and they have a chance of beating the Judgment Day. Well, they actually did, just not the right members, not the ones they're going to face for the championships. Even the Judgment Day said these guys are the real deal. Lately, I'm just loving what Triple H and the WWE creative are doing with the product. They fixed some of the biggest issues and now they're kind of focusing on the tag team division, the women's tag team division. They're definitely on the right path. After Seth Rollins talked about CM Punk with Adam Pearce, we saw Jay Uso before the match, and Jay Uso appreciates the opportunity, but he's going to win this match, so we got some tension, you know, some drama, but they're on the same page. They're still buds. So we got the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship match on Monday Night Raw. That's probably the biggest thing I like about Seth Rollins as a champion. We do get World Championship matches on Raw. I mean, he's living up to the name of a fighting champion, which is the point of this championship title reign. So I really appreciate that. And again, I can't believe it's not a 6-man tag team match closing Monday Night Raw. So we got Seth Rollins versus Jay Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Big match feel. Absolutely love this one. I love the vibe of it. I love that we got two baby faces, so we knew there's not gonna be any bullshit, you know, kind of refreshing. So I absolutely love the match, and you know, we all knew Jey Uso is not gonna take that championship, but at one point they almost fooled me. I mean, we got a spear straight into the Uso splash, and that was a great near fall, man. But of course, Seth Rollins still ended up winning the match. He's still your World Heavyweight Champion. After the match, Drew McIntyre attacks Jey Uso. He beaten the crap out of Seth Rollins too, and said the truth shall set you free. Oh my god, R-Truth is coming back twice. That was your Monday Night Raw. So Drew McIntyre is a full-blown heel at this point. Like, there's no going back. Good stuff, like I've said. If we ignore the fact that we didn't get Randy and CM Punk, this was a decent episode of Raw. I just believe we kinda needed Punk, especially after, you know, wanting more after last week. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but now I can't wait for SmackDown. So it is what it is. But people didn't get to see Punk, they didn't get to see Rhea, so I'm sure some people were kinda disappointed. But anyway, that was your Monday Night Raw. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you already didn't. The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.